Hello, everyone. Wednesday, 11 a.m., somewhere in Australia. Bring on the questions. I heard we're talking about muscle chains and some weird failure stories of mine, so better look forward to it.
Hi, everyone. So the first question is from one of our traveling circus members who sent us a message where he outlined his now current training status and how he does like usually his sessions are like between 90 and 120 minutes, so pretty long. And he does like a ton of work like mobility, warm-up, strength, assistance work. And he just like really wrote down like a whole list of all the stuff that he does. But he feels like all of that is kind of like nice to do, but he's lacking kind of like the fruits of all that labor. So what would you recommend for someone like that?
Okay, so first of all, I think that's how something evolves if you're not knowing what you're looking for. If an exercise is the goal of your training, whether that's back squat or whatever, then this will be the outcome. I have to do this warm up, those mobility exercises for the squat, those assistant work, those assistant exercises, assistant um, additional work. I have to do corrective exercises. I have to do actual strength work. I have to do stretching. I have to do cool down. So that's when the carrot hanging in front of you is an actual exercise that you want to kind of tick off. I don't think that's how the body works. Having an exercise is the end goal. My end goal is super simple. Um, how can I invest less time and get more results in any exercise or in any fancy skill that I want to learn? That's the only goal I'm going to shoot for. Okay, so how can I get rid of all of that stuff that you just mentioned, like the 17 exercises I have to do in every single training session? How can I get rid of this and include everything that I want to, which is, I don't know, proprioception, doing functional movements, combining muscles with each other, and all that kind of stuff. So 27 topics that everybody's talking about, and what is the actual thing I have to do in my own training to combine all of it. And how I introduced it in the book is, and how I found the only thing I have to work on is how to combine the three big muscles, right? So this is the glute max, your obliques, and the lats. And that's how I literally stumbled into looking into muscle chain because everybody kind of knows that muscles are connected with each other, right? This is not like big news or breaking news, but how to do that in training. And just calling something functional is not gonna connect the muscles with each other just because it looks like a squat or a thruster or whatever it is. So there has to be something deeper behind it. All right, let me backtrack a little bit. So there's muscle chains in your body, and I outline in the book. I have five in them: two for the upper body, two for the lower body, and one that's the magic three big muscles in between, which is I think the only thing that you should really care about in training is okay, how can I literally get there? First things first, we have all the maps available, which means we know where all the bones are and we know where all the muscles are. That's great. I'm offering a manual how to use them, which is the book, both the bones and the muscles. And the third one is how can I use those muscle chains? And that's what the templates are for. Which exercises plus the manual behind it, what to actually do, plus the maps behind it. This is going to lead to you connecting the muscles with each other. This is not something that you can learn in theory. This is something that needs to be done in practice, obviously. Okay, so what's the big point? Why is it including proprioception? Because the way you grip stuff is going to influence which muscle chain you're going to use. So that means the outside of your hand, that means the pinky is going to go towards more the inside of your arm, which is more towards my muscle chain number two, which is going to involve all the muscles that actually can hold longer time under tension, which is not unimportant for taking care of shoulder positions, right? So those muscle chains are mapped out. Yes, you can read them, but it's just another map. The true gold is in, okay, read the book, know what to do with the position, know what to do with the tension, and how to learn that, and then actually do that in the templates and then you're going to combine muscle chains with each other. This is the order of how things work. This is not about okay, now I know the muscle chains, and I'm just going to do random exercises without knowing what to look for, and then magic is gonna pop up. No, you have to follow the step-by-step process, and then it will trickle down. So doing the templates will eliminate all of the stuff that you've just mentioned. You don't have to do specific warm-up. You don't have to do specific mobility exercises. You don't have to do specific assistance exercises. You don't have to do specific corrective exercises. You could get rid of all of it. That feeds my end goal, which is you need less time and get more progress, right? This is the outcome of the templates is you're going to use the muscle chains, the combined muscle chains. This is the outcome of doing the templates. It's not, you know, the muscle chains and you're going to do the templates and magic is going to happen. All right. Muscle chains will come in once you follow the process, and then you can get rid of all the stuff that beautiful guy or lady sent the question about. This is the correct order of things. The maps are in the book, and obviously what to start with first so you can get there in faster.
And because you mentioned like 5 muscle chains, and you said that there is one which is like the golden child, can you tell us more about that one?
Sure. So the beauty of a lot of knowledge is someone has to do the hard work and the footwork and figure out, okay, which of that whole map is like the first thing you need to go to. So this is muscle chain number 3 for me, which consists of 3 big muscles, which is the glute max, the obliques, and the lats. If you have those 3 in your pocket, if you know how to combine those 3 muscles, you don't have to worry about anything else, because the glute max is going to take care of your pelvis, of the neutral pelvis, and it's going to help the obliques stabilize. Okay, and the obliques are going to help the lats do their work in the shoulders. So yes, there is still other stuff to do further down the line. That means taking care of other muscles, but 99% of people won't need that. You don't need to focus on your delts. You don't need to focus on your pecs. You don't need to focus on your biceps. You don't need to focus on anything else other than those 3 muscles. That doesn't mean your road or your journey should end there. No. But I think most people have like 2 hours a week of actual time for training, and I'm just saying, focus in your time that you have available for training. Focus on those 3 muscles, obviously executing it through the book as a manual and the templates. And that's more than enough for 99% of people. Yes, if you want to back squat 300 kilos, that won't be enough. I totally agree. But I also, I think you can agree that 99% of people don't want to, and there's no need for them to back squat 300 kilos.
And what would you say now if someone were to come in with an approach of, I don't want to back squat 300 pounds. I just want to, I don't know, feel good, be healthy. I want to get rid maybe of my knee pain. And someone can invest like 2 hours a week. How long would you say that the work on that muscle chain number 3 is gonna take them? How long are we talking about, like months, or are we talking about years?
I don't know, because I don't know. You have to tell me a goal so I can drop from my experiences
Okay.
how long is it going to take, depending on yours. So let's say your goal is a 50 kilo Sandbag squat for 10 reps. Okay, cool. We can measure where you are right now. Like, can you actually squat a 50 kilo Sandbag like once or twice? And you want to go to 10. Okay, and then I give you a good estimate. This is gonna, if you can do like 2 or 3 reps, I can guarantee you're gonna have 10 reps within 26 weeks. So that's half a year if you follow the templates. That means if you have twice a week, 2 training sessions a week available, there's 5 templates, and you're going to rotate them through those 2 training sessions. I can guarantee you will have 10 squats with 50 kilos at the end of 26 weeks, right? And that's the beauty of the templates, because Um, if you only have 2 sessions, 2 hours a week, it's totally fine, right? It's just going to take a little bit longer, but you're eventually going to end up there. And that's the only thing I care about. I don't care if it's 24, 26, or 52 weeks. I'm only interested in if you do it twice a week, you will end up there. Of course, if you're going to do it 3 times a week or 4 times a week, we can cut time in half. But that is on you now. Like you can make an educated decision now if it makes sense for you to invest more time because the outcome is going to be faster for you.
Mm.
And if time is not a precious thing for you at the moment, that means it doesn't matter if you have 10 reps with 50 kilos in 26 weeks, then stick with 2 times a week. It doesn't make any sense. Like probably you have a business or a family to run. There's other important stuff. But if for whatever reason you have like a huge bet with your neighbor and you have to have 20 push-ups in the next 6 weeks, well, guess what? And then the stakes are high, and you're going to invest 5 hours a week into this. Okay, we can make it work. So time is the deciding factor for the the fastness. Is that an English word? The
Yep.
pace of your results. That's it, right? But it's not going to be dependent on anything else, and that's beautiful because you're the only person who can negotiate with time because you can make an educated decision. I'm going to take 1 hour of time away from here and I'm going to put it in here because I want this result faster. This is how I see training. So that's what the 5 templates are for. Those are for the 99% of people out there who don't want to back squat 300 kilos. They just want to see progress and train consistently and have steady progress as fast as possible. And it's enough to do these twice a week.
And maybe you could touch on that as well, because I mean, I know the templates by now, but I know that each and every single one of those templates covers the three big muscles. But because maybe I think that's kind of like a different take on it, because oftentimes people, when they hear like, okay, a shoulder template or a hip template or a trunk template, they think like very isolated. So I think that's something that's important to stress, that each and every single one of these templates covers all three big muscles.
Yes, that is super important because that's again, my system is not based on exercises, but on problems I need to solve and the process how to get there. So this is not about fixing your squat or fixing your deadlift. No, no, no. We're going to dissect it and work on every single aspect of position and tension and order. Yes, the end result will be that you will be better, stronger, faster, whatever at the exercise, but we're not gonna tackle it like this. Practical example, because I think that's super important. We talked about muscle chains today before. All right. One thing that really struck me was, okay, let's say you want to back squat 300 kilos. What is the back squat for? Like what major muscle is the back squat for? Usually people will say like, I don't know, like glutes, hamstring, something like this. Glute max, hamstring, right? My point is, so now you're doing squats for the glute and hamstrings, but you're not using it, and that's why you have to do assistance isolated work to get it going. So it will go back to that functional movement and work in there. Like I don't get the point. And that's the point about me mentioning muscle chains. Like this is not how the body works. This is not how you cannot, this is not a puzzle. You cannot unplug the hamstring, train it isolated and plug it back. And all of a sudden it's going to work in a very high skill movement. This is not how it works. So what's a different approach to it? For everybody who back squats out, just try something. All right. Do 20 reps of a ideally Sandbag front rack squat. You can grab a kettlebell or whatever. Obey to the hip rules, which is get your hips back first, knees stays over the ankle, get as wide as you can without the knees coming forward, and then go immediately into your back squat and just play it back and forth. Do 20 reps of front squats the way I just described it, obeying the hip rules, and then go into your back squat. Your back squat will feel so much better, right? And the point is because the way we train is gonna teach your body how to combine those muscle chains with each other. And this is going to translate to a higher skill, your barbell back squat. And that's why it feels better there. You don't need mobility exercises to make your back feel better or assistance work or whatever. You just have to learn how to combine those muscles through, guess what? Stuff that's going to involve as many muscles, as many big muscles as you can. And then higher skill exercises will all of a sudden feel more mobile and feel stronger than they've ever felt before. That's the whole point about learning about muscle chains.